Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today. I'm right out here in the guts of the Australian bush and I'm actually miles from nowhere. So this would be the perfect place to give you the rundown and the truth about the 2022 model Classic 350. And like I said, I'm right out here in the middle of nowhere, no one's around. I'm going to tell you what I think are the 5 best reasons why you should buy this bike. Okay, so number one reason why I think this bike is so good is the value for money. So if we look at this bike now in Australia, it costs you around $8,000 for the Halcyon colours. So that's their cheapest colours, the Halcyon. Then they go up and probably jump up about $800 after that. But for the money involved, $8,000, if you look back at the old days when they had the Classic 350 here in Australia, they were $6,500. So at $6,500 against $8,000 for the new version, the best thing about that one, for a start, you get dual channel ABS braking, which I think is really good. So, but more importantly, you get the new J motor, which performs really nice. So you get the dual channel ABS, you get the J motor, and more importantly, you just get overall a good bike for the extra $1,500 compared to what you would have paid for the old day of the 350 carby. So there's just no comparison between riding the carby once, which I had a couple of them, and getting on this new fuel injected version. Because no doubt, when we look now, the fuel injection a ways ago and carby days are virtually gone. So that's my number one reason, value for money. This is really up near Interceptor territory in the build quality, and everything's sort of put together really nicely. So it's a nice tight fit everywhere. Like I haven't had to get out here and run over the bike any time and pull up and think, oh, it's got a rattle here or something like that, or something like to the effect where it's going to cause me any drama when I'm riding along. If I showed you some of the roads this bike's been on, it's been on some terror rides. Like it's just unbelievable some of the roads I've put this on. While we're at it, just take a look at this. The roads have been that dirty and muddy and dusty in some areas. Look how much dirt I've collected on this bike. So you can prove there straight away. This has been on quite a lot of dirt roads to date. Now one other thing I'll bring to your attention is, as far as things go, I'm now running the factory sump guard on this particular bike, which I picked up a few days ago. Now, a couple of things I'll mention. For one, if you're thinking of buying one of these bikes, I wouldn't recommend you run out and run these dirt roads what I've been on lately, because even though the bike's capable of doing it, and in India they ride them around on these dirt roads all the time, I wouldn't sort of recommend you go out and buy one. This is only a test for me to see how it performs, because I've never really taken the Classic 500 really, or these 350s on a great deal of dirt, where this bike's had quite a lot of dirt running. So if you really want to do dirt road and things like that, I wouldn't recommend you do it on one of these, because, you know, it just doesn't do them, I don't think, much good. But you can go along and do it if you want to, but I would say don't do it. I fitted that front sump guard, what we were talking about earlier on. Now what I don't like about that one, and I'm not going to keep it probably on this bike all that long, I had plans on buying 2, but after using one, I found that vibration come through the bike in the foot pegs, where this bike was a very low vibrating bike. But as soon as I attached that steel plate, or yeah, you could say steel sump guard, it brought in vibration through the pegs and a little bit through the bike. Does that not look a classic when you come back? Now, no big deal with the fitting of the springs there. Didn't take all that long to do once you know what you're doing. I bought 2 sets, one for this and one for the Marsh Grey. Now what I will tell you about it, it does actually tilt the seat a little bit forward. Doesn't increase the ride, but once you get on it straight away, you do notice that you are up a little bit forward. It doesn't increase the height, but it just pushes the seat, tilts it a little bit more level, and doesn't affect the ride quality or anything like that. And you know, it's just sort of more a visual look. So if you're going to buy something, I would say, yeah, definitely buy the spring kit, because they look good, cost you not much money, and you're almost near a C5. This bike is extremely comfortable to ride, like that nice solo seat. It's the best seat I've ever seen on a Classic, in, you know, like a 350 or 500. It's a real nice soft ride. Everything's good about the bike. It's got a nice gearbox. It's got a nice clutch. It's a really good starter. You might have heard me a few times, keep telling you, first time every time. With this particular bike, you can just come in at any time, turn her on, press a button, and away she goes straight away. That would be the best thing about it. It's a nice, comfortable ride. You know, could it be better? Yeah, it could be better if it had better shocks, but you only get what you pay for. And for what it is, and compared to other ones I've been on, I think it's pretty good. Now, number 4 on my list of why you should buy this bike is definitely this new J motor. So it's just that good. And with the built-in balance shaft and all that, there's very little vibration in this bike at all in stock form. Like, it's not perfect like where some people say it's got no vibration at all. There's a little bit of vibration in it, but nothing of any concern. Now, with this particular bike, even today I come out, and I've been doing a lot of dirt and a lot of running at 100 kilometres an hour. I just come out glove free. So that's how good this bike runs. And I've got no complaints, no buzzing in the hands, no nothing like that. This is just a really good bike. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect and it's not the best bike you can buy, but by Enfield standards, it's a pretty good bike. I've put 2,000 kilometres on it now, 2,100 Ks, and the only problem I've really had with it is an erratic speedo. But apart from that, it's never let me down on a start, because when you come out where I'm here now, I tell you what, if something goes wrong and that bike wouldn't start, you wouldn't believe how long it's going to take me to walk. I don't even know if I've got reception out in this hole, but you wouldn't believe how far I'd have to walk to get to the nearest house, which I seen down the road. It was miles away, like a huge amount. It'd take me quite a long time to walk there. So to come out on a road like this and do a test for you, and you can see just by looking around, it's fairly open country and no houses, no nothing. Well, to have the guts to come out here and do this must mean that I've got a fair bit of faith in this bike. The only other thing I'm probably thinking of doing, since I've been running dirt road, I might put some slime, a couple of ounces in each of the tyres, just for a little bit of peace of mind there. But as far as me coming out here thinking, will it start or is it going to break down or something? No, so far I've found it 100% reliable and a really good bike to ride, and that's why I run these back ones. Like I said earlier, these back roads, I don't recommend you buy one of these bikes to do that, but it's your money, just like it's my money when I'm showing you out here testing it. But I'm just letting you know, you can do all this, but I don't recommend it. So if they say to you, oh yeah, I reckon you can ride them anywhere, not the case. They will ride anywhere, but you know, I think you're fairly stupid if you I think you're fairly stupid if you go out or you've got a bit of money to throw around one way or the other. But you know, getting back to the story, I could put more off-road tyres onto this and take it in different places, but I don't know if it'd be, you know, like whether you'd want to, because they are, you can take them in these places, but you can't move along all that quick. The suspension's not built up for this sort of a dirt road or the ruts and that you come along. So if you want to do it properly, it's all right for a say you've done it, but it's not the case when you get out here and say, oh, I did it with ease. You know, you have to show a bit of caution and be a little bit careful, or you could come unstuck. Honestly, I've not put any spanners on this apart from that little bit of a work on the tappets and the other side. But, you know, like I did check one of the bolts in the early stages just to see what they were like, but they're all tight. And it's really well put together. So I think, you know, if you're on the fence and you're thinking, should I buy one of these now? Well, I'd say yes. It's a really good bike now. It starts well. It can run along well at 100 kilometres an hour. You know, it's a nice little handling bike. It's well behaved. It's got brakes are okay. You know, like everything about it. And I reckon just by throwing those springs on the back seat has just brought it up into a totally new looking bike too. So if you look at it, these are the 5 reasons I think why you should buy one of these bikes. And I don't think I've ever made one before where I might have said 5 reasons I like about the bike, but I'm telling you now 5 reasons why you should buy the bike, because I think it's the best Enfield to date I've ridden. So once again, the only thing I've had trouble with is an erratic speedo in 2,000 kilometres, and believe me, I've not been easy on this bike. I was easy on the run-in, but where I've taken it, you would probably say, well, geez, that's a bit hard on one of these, like if you see it going around. And trouble is, once you get into some of these areas, you've got no choice but battle on. So we'll leave it at this. I'm going to get in this area now, and I'll probably put a drone up and hopefully try to get some footage and just show you how that Scotty O2 works on the clip following this one. and we'll see how that performs. And I'm going to try a few different things on the Skydio to show you how it tracks and how I can move it around in the sky using the controller mounted to the handlebars. So when the next click comes up on that one, it'll be a handlebar mount here, and we'll see how that goes.